friends, welcome back to Brilliant Blue Reviews. My name is Heather, and today's video is going to be for the book-loving viewers in my audience. I have not published a video in quite a while about anything related to books, except for a short that I put out several weeks ago now, maybe even 2 months ago, where I said I was in a bit of a reading slump, and that's why I hadn't done any book reviews. But I got inspired by another booktuber today, and I decided that I'm going to do a little mid-year review for you of what I've read so far this year. Part of the reason I wanted to do this is because I haven't put out any book-related content in a while. The second reason I wanted to do this is because there are some books that I read in the first half of 2025 that I did not make review videos about. And so I wanted to touch on those a little bit. I do occasionally read books more for, personal reasons or nonfiction stuff that I don't necessarily want to make a full review video about for the channel, but that I did want to share with you. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 10 books I have read so far in 2025. Now I am behind. My Goodreads reading challenge for 2025 is to read 25 books in 2025. So I'm a little bit behind. I should have read at least 12 to 13 books by now, and I've only read 10. I am a good ways through what's going to be the 11th book, and I have a whole bunch more books sitting here that I am intending to tackle. Now, I have run into something this year that I haven't had a problem with so much in the past, and that is I'm having a very difficult time reading at night in bed. I get into bed, and by the time I fall asleep almost instantly. That always was my main time for reading, was in bed at night, and I'm just finding that I just can't do that anymore. I really actually need to read in the morning when I'm most alert, or sometimes like today I read for about 45 minutes between like 1:30 and 2:30ish, around that time in the afternoon, and I was pretty alert and okay. But at the end, again, I did start to nod off a little bit. So I am just finding it more difficult to stay awake long enough to read good chunks of books at a time. I don't know if it's an age thing or what the deal is. Does anybody else have this problem? But yeah, this is new for me. I have started reading more in the daytime because I'm just finding it much too difficult to read at night, and that's why I have fallen behind this year on my reading challenge, because I'm finding it difficult to find time during the day to read as much as I want to when I'm alert enough to do it. I'm going to go through and count down for you these 10 books. I'm going to count them down from the one I liked the least up to the one that I liked the best. And many of these I did already make a full review of the book for you, so that you can find that on my channel here. Elsewhere, if you want to hear more details about the majority of these books, I think it's like 7 of them. I'm also going to share at the end some of the other books I have here that I am planning on reading coming up here soon, and so you can watch for reviews of those books coming up in the coming months. I did not have any DNFs. Now, I should give a little disclaimer here. There are 3 books on my list that I technically didn't read the whole book. But, like I didn't read every single word. 2 of them are nonfiction books. But I read enough of the book, or the parts that I wanted to read, or I skimmed through to the end or something to get enough of an assessment of the book that I feel I can give a rating to the book, okay? But those are the books also that I did not make individual videos about or reviews about, and that's part of the reason why. I did not have any 1-star books. All right, I had 2 2-star books. So 2-star means I didn't like it. So that's ranked at number 10. My lowest book that I liked the least that I've read so far in 2025 was Penitence by Kristen Koval. Now this is her debut novel. It's a very well-written book. Like, she's a good writer. I just really did not care for the story, and it's really depressing. It's very much a downer. And I disagreed with the choices that the characters made, and there wasn't any one character that I could really relate to. I didn't really feel much sympathy for anyone. I mean, that book didn't sit well with me at all. But it's a quality written book. It's not a poorly written novel or anything. But I would like to watch to see if she writes something else in the future that's maybe not such a bummer. I mean, it just was really a depressing story, and I didn't care for it at all. So Penitence by Kristen Koval, I gave 2 stars. It's ranked number 10 on my list. The Goodreads overall score is 3.69. I really hesitate to read anything that's rated on Goodreads less than a 3.8. So this would fall into that category based on the other readers' opinion of it too. My other 2-star book that I've read so far this year, ranked at number 9, is No One Saw a Thing by Andrea Mara. This is a pretty popular novel, and a lot of people have watched my review of this book because I think they're very interested in it. The premise was so good about 2 little girls that get on the tube in London, the train, the subway, without their mom, and when she gets to the other end, only one of them is there and the other one has gone missing. And it was just really, you can watch it. I'm actually going to link that one up here because I really talk a lot about that in that video. It was kind of ridiculous. It was just like, oh, come on. The dialogue, what she did with the story, everything just kind of like went off the rails for me. No pun intended. But that was not my favorite at all. It gets a 3.95 on Goodreads, so, fairly positive. I mean, she's a good enough writer. I think I've read something else by her too, but I can't think of what it is. But this one, just watch that video and you'll see what I mean. Okay, then I had 4 3-star books. So 3 stars for me is I liked it fine. I didn't dislike it. I didn't really like it, but I liked it fine. In some cases 3 is fine. It's good enough. Okay, so at number 8 is Whiteout by R.S. Burnett, which on Goodreads, the current rating is 3.66, so just a little higher than what I rated it. You can't rate things half stars on Goodreads, which is something that people do complain about, but oh well. This was kind of a thriller adventure thing set in Antarctica. The thing that I guess I didn't like about this book was that I guessed what the deal was right away. I mean, like within the first 10 pages. I guessed what the big twist was, right away at the beginning, and so it just kind of, yeah. It just kind of was like a little bit ridiculous after that because I kind of knew what was going to happen, and so, yeah. But it was okay. Okay, then at number 7, this was a nonfiction book that I read with a friend who was reading it, and we wanted to read it together and discuss it. And it's The Art of Loving by Erich Fromm. Now, this is a very old book. He's a pretty famous psychologist. He's German. And this book has been around a long time, and it has a lot of ratings on Goodreads. It's actually rated 4.00 on Goodreads. There were parts of the book that I really liked. There were certain sections that I really got a lot out of, and then there were some parts that were really dry that I just wanted to skim through or like didn't really apply to me or stuff. He talks about the concept of love in all sorts of different relationships, parent-child loves, friendship, romantic love, all sorts of things. And it's an interesting book. So just not all of it really applied to me or was really what I was interested in, but there were some parts in it like really resonated with me a lot. Some people have some serious problems with him. I mean, there's some weird stuff in it, given the fact that it's as old as it is. I want to say it's from like the 50s, but it was a book I read and I gave it 3 stars. At number 6 is The Wrong Sister by Claire Douglas. Again, I liked this one fine. It's a kind of a mystery, suspense a little bit. It's not really suspenseful, but it's kind of a mystery. Kind of has a twist, not really exactly. Again, I kind of could have guessed it. But I mean, it was entertaining enough that like I was into it and everything. And it was okay. I mean, yeah, I liked it fine. And it gets a Goodreads rating currently of 3.99. So pretty decent rating, almost a 4. Okay, at number 5 is I put The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. Now, Catherine Center does have another book out now. It's The Love Haters, and it's actually in transit to me at the library. So that one should be coming soon. Or did I already pick it up? No, I didn't pick it up yet. It's coming. So I will be reading that as soon as possible. And so I know there's at least a couple of people who've told me that they're really looking forward to my review of Catherine Center's latest book. So that one is coming. But the rom-comers, I liked it. But again, I just liked it fine. And I will say about that one, it was the ending. I liked the book pretty well until like the end. I just thought was a little bit, like she rushed it a little, I think. So that one actually gets a 4.07 rating on Goodreads. I would recommend it. If you like Catherine Center and you like romance type novels and the situation, it was two screenwriters working together kind of thing. It's an entertaining, I would definitely recommend it if you want, I didn't dislike it, so. Okay, then I had 2 4-star rated books. So at number 4 is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This gets a 4.37 on Goodreads right now. I've really had trouble keeping up with Abby Jimenez. I really like Abby Jimenez. We've long gone to her cupcake shop, Nadia's Cakes, in Minnesota. She's got a couple shops over there. We go to the one in Woodbury. She started writing novels some time ago. She's a very busy lady, and she's been writing a lot of books, and I have had trouble keeping up with them. So I'm way behind on reading Abby Jimenez's books. But this one I especially wanted to read, and I did really like it. But again, I chose not to do, I kind of had to skim because I was having trouble finishing and I had more books coming in and stuff. But I really liked, of all of it that I did read, I really enjoyed it. I really like Abby Jimenez's style of writing, and it's very easy to read and very, like, approachable, personable. What am I trying to say? Like, it's a really nice flow to her writing and stuff, and I really like her style. So I would give Just for the Summer 4 stars. My number 3 ranked book so far in 2025 is another nonfiction book. Now, this is a very good seller right now, and there's a lot of demand for it. If you want to get this from your public library, you're going to have to put it on hold and might have to wait a while because this book is selling like hotcakes. It's a very popular book. I had been wanting to read it a while. She did a whole series of videos on her YouTube channel promoting the book for quite some time, and she's got it sitting behind her on the shelves in her YouTube videos. But It's Not You by Dr. Ramani Durvasula. I think that's how, she just goes by Dr. Ramani on her YouTube channel. She's a therapist based in Southern California, and she's considered kind of like the country's premier expert on narcissism. I survived a marriage to a narcissistic individual. If everybody looks at their life, probably everybody's encountered a narcissistic person somewhere in their life, whether it's at work or a colleague or some relationship you've been in, maybe a parent, a sibling, something. And it's a very interesting field to learn about. This book, It's Not You, it's identifying and healing from narcissistic abuse. So identifying the narcissistic people in your life and then healing from that type of abuse if you're in it. And it's kind of she's written more than one book. I think she wrote another one a while back, but this is kind of her big summarizing thing of like all her work that she's done over the years. So I gave that one a 4 stars. It gets a 4.54 overall on Goodreads. And again, I didn't read every single word. Was also sharing this with someone else in my life that I thought it would really be helpful for. And we were kind of jumping around and picking out the parts that were most applicable to us. So I didn't completely finish it, but it's a wealth of stuff in there, and she's got a really detailed index and everything at the back. So 4 stars for that one. And then I had 2 5-star reads so far in 2025. Ranked at number 2 is A Deception at Thorncrest by Ashley Weaver. Goodreads has this at a 3.98, so I obviously liked it a lot better than the average Goodreads reader. But I think that part of the reason I ranked it higher is because this was the concluding novel in the Amory Ames mystery series. And I have been a big fan of that series. And I'm currently reading the 5th and final novel in Ashley Weaver's other series, the Electra McDonald series. I'll grab that book for you in a second here. I really like Ashley Weaver, and she's had these 2 series so far. The Amory Ames mystery series, which Deception at Thorncrest was the final book in that series. And I think she did a very good job of wrapping up the series, and I had really grown to really love that series. I started reading the Electra McDonald series first, and then I had read all the books that had been published so far, because that's the newer one. And I was like, oh dang, I don't have anything else to read now. I gotta wait for the next book to come out. And then in the meantime, I went to the library and in the stacks and noticed that she had this other series, the Amory Ames mystery series, which is Milo and Amory Ames, married couple in the 30s, okay? And so then I started reading all of those, and this was the last one. So I read all the books in that series over the past couple of years. And so A Deception at Thorncrest was the final book in that series, and I gave it 5 stars. But I had come to really love that series. So if you don't read the whole series like in a pretty close amount of time, like I did, you might not get as much out of it as I did. I was reading all those books really close together. So that's kind of what was going on there. My number 1 novel so far in 2025, which I also gave 5 stars to, was Is She Really Going Out with Him by Sophie Cousins. The overall Goodreads rating right now is 4.10, so pretty decent. Absolutely loved that book. I made a pretty detailed, I'll link that one up here too. I made a pretty detailed review of that book as well. It came at a time in my life when something was happening in my personal life that it especially resonated with me. I just was really like ready to read that book at the time that I read it, and it really meant a lot to read it at the time that I was. And I really like Sophie Cousins anyway. I've ranked at least one of her other books, Just Haven't Met You Yet. I really liked that one too. And she's one of those authors that does something very clever with the title, and when you find it in the book, you're like, oh, it all makes sense now. She's British, and I love stuff that's set in the UK and everything. I've talked about that before. So that was my number 1 book so far in 2025. Okay, let me show you what I'm reading now and what I'm going to be reading coming up. Okay, so first of all, what I'm reading right now currently is One Final Turn. This is by Ashley Weaver. This is the final book in the Electra McDonald series. The Electra McDonald series is set in World War II in Great Britain, 1941, and Electra McDonald, or Ellie, the main character, she's a safecracker. She picks locks and breaks into safes. She's recruited basically by the British government to help them with different things in the war effort. And I'm very disappointed that this is the 5th and final novel, and I'm that far. I'm on chapter 11. It's got 37 chapters, I think. And so I'm hoping, I have to have this book. It's a 14-day, it's new. And it just came in, and I only have 14 days to read it, and I think I have 6-7 days left. So I've got to get going on this. I'm very eager to see how this turns out in this series. And I'm also really eager to see if Ashley Weaver ends up writing anything after this, because so far I've loved everything. I've read every book she's written so far. This is the last one that she has out, and I've loved every single one of them. So that's what I'm reading right now. Okay. Also, from the library, already picked up, I have another 14-day book. So the reason I have to get reading on that one, now this one I was able to renew. So I'll be able to keep it for more than 14 days because nobody was waiting for it right now. Because I actually missed this. This is one of those times where it's a series and I've been reading the series and I missed it that another book in the series had come out already. And so I'm a little behind of when this came out. It came out probably this year. Oh yeah, 2025. Yep, 2025. So it came out earlier this year and I just missed it. Jane Wonderly and she's a newlywed now. She married Redvers, who he's been together. They met at the beginning of the first book. This is the 6th book in the series. And then there's also a novella, which I did not read, Murder Under the Mistletoe. But this one is Homicide in the Indian Hills. These books also take place in the 30s. Yeah, 1930s. And it's they're kind of mystery adventure books. So this one obviously is going to be in India, and they travel all over the world and they're fun. So they're a little bit kind of more like on the cozy side. They're kind of a mix of international travel, mystery, romance. I like them. This one's thick. This is the thickest one yet. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be reading next after One Final Turn. Then I have one of my favorite authors, although this book has not been getting very good ratings. So I actually got it a couple times and ended up taking it back because I didn't have time to read it then. But after Homicide in the Indian Hills, I'm going to be reading Susan Meisner's latest novel, Map to Paradise. Now, I really think I'm going to like this one because it's set in Hollywood and it has to do with like movies and everything. And that's like right up my alley. And it's set in 1956 in Malibu, California. But I don't know why this one just isn't getting very good reviews and ratings on Goodreads. So I don't know what's up with that. So we'll see how I like it. Now, this one thankfully is a little bit thinner. So hopefully I will be able to read this pretty quick. And then I know from the library after that, I have the next Catherine Center, The Love Haters, is coming in. And something else is already en route, in transit to me at the library too. So I really got to get going. The good news is I have no travel plans in July. It's July 2nd today. I don't plan to really go anywhere. I have been traveling a lot, you know, in the first half of the year and have been spending a lot of nights away from home and stuff and doing a lot of back and forth to Minnesota. And so I haven't had as much time to read as I normally would, but I have nothing going on in July as far as I know right now. And so I should have more time to read. Beyond the library books, I also have a bunch of books that I have bought. Now, it remains to be seen if I will get to any of these in 2025. But I just wanted to show them to you. And if there's a particular book in this set here that you really want me to read because you're really eager for a review of it, let me know down in the comments, okay? These are books that I have bought and own. And so I'm not in any hurry, you know, to get them back to the library or anything like that. All right, one is Dead of Night by Lisa Gray. This is Lisa Gray's latest novel. And there is another one, a standalone novel. I really like Lisa Gray. It's kind of gritty that I haven't read. And I have that one on my list, but I can get that one from the library. But this one, the library didn't have it. So I bought it. So I would like to read this one. It's crime writer, cold case. She's living in some secluded clifftop house in small town California to help with her writer's block. I don't know. It sounds cool. So that's one of them. Okay, Come Fly With Me by Camille DeMaio. I read another book by Camille DeMaio and I really liked it. And I like this one because it has to do with travel. If you don't know, my other channel, my main channel I've had for the last 7 years, Heather Travels, is my main channel. I have over 850 videos on that channel with tons of travel content. So make sure you check me out over there if you're interested in travel at all. This one is about stewardesses on Pan Am Airlines. So back in the day, and like the competition to be a stewardess on Pan Am Airlines when they were still called stewardesses and not flight attendants. Okay, so that's what that one's about. The Surf House by Lucy Clark. Now, I used to absolutely love Lucy Clark. One of her very first books, The Blue, I think it was one of the first books I read when I got back into reading novels several years ago. And I absolutely loved that. And I read like, I don't know, 4 of her books really close together. And then I kind of got off Lucy Clark again for a little while. It says that some of her stuff has been released as an international TV series for Paramount Plus. Another Andrea Mara. Now, I didn't like the Andrea Mara that I had listed in my what I've read so far this year, but I want to give this one a try. It Should Have Been You. I have to say, the plot of this sounds awfully similar to The Wrong Sister. Okay, but I'm going to read it anyway because it's rated pretty good. So, yeah, it's another British set murder mystery kind of thing by Andrea Mara. So this one is also on my list to read. Nice big hefty hardcover. Don't you love those? Make for difficulty to hold in bed at night though. Okay, and then really big hefty hardcover, Message Deleted by K.L. Slater. I've been wanting to read this one for a while. It really intrigues me. She gets a text like from her best friend that says like, come over, can't speak, don't text or call, just come. And then when she ggets there to her friend's house, her friend's like, I never texted you. What are you talking about? Yeah, and again, this is British. And this is by K.L. Slater. Yeah, she lives in Nottinghamshire. And I think I've read something else by her. Let me look. Oh, I don't think they're listed. No, they're not listed. So, but this one's been on my list for a while too, kind of a mystery, suspense thriller type book. So, of those, let me know if there's one of these that you're really most interested in, and let me know in the comments, and I'll try to read that sooner, you know. But I gotta get through the library books first. So I do have a whole bunch of stuff. I have so much stuff on my TBR, and I have a whole bunch of stuff paused, actually. Like, I have it on hold at the library, but I have it paused because I can't keep up. So there you go. That is what I have coming up. And those were my first 10 books that I read so far in 2025. Did you read any of these books? What did you think of them? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for joining me for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that my book-loving viewers are happy that I put out a video about books. And there will be more book review videos coming very soon. So stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those when I make those videos and put them on the channel. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time.